Who's ready for some big energy? Tempered Uth Duna is so much fun. Hello, my fellow hunters, and welcome to the Festival of a God, Flame Fate. It is here, and it brings with it so much lovely stuff, and we will get to all of that. Stay tuned, plenty is on the way, and it's all juicy. But for now, the juiciest of all is our ginormous apex body slamming from the sky in a way that really is going to make you die. Tempered Uth Duna arriving with the festival and the star of the show. It is a really, really fun Arch-Tempered. Initially off the bat, it's not as immediately, oh my god, as Ray Dow was with the extra explosions on everything, but there's a lot going on here. There is straight up new moves, and this little sort of barrel roll sideways is really, really entertaining. At least I am pretty sure that's a new move. There's always that certain amount of Arch-Tempered syndrome where you're fighting it and hunting it and you're staring and you're like, I don't recognize that. I think that's new, and you just kind of got to go with your feeling. The splashes feel splashier, and the general tempo of the fight is just that much more intense. I think Uth Duna gets a little bit of a bad rep of sort of the least interesting maybe of the four apexes. Of course, not everyone feels that way. I certainly don't. I have an incredibly hard time choosing between them in any given day of the week, but Uth Duna I think is just majestic. I love the absolute size of the lad. The body slamming is just such a fun way of fighting, and the Arch-Tempered really doubles down on it. The damage is as immense as the girth smushing you into the floor. I am just being repeatedly one-shot by the main belly flop, so you really, really don't want to be underneath it. Thankfully, there is lots of the map that you can drop rocks on, which make things a lot easier, and at the starting location, Uth Duna instantly went for the super attack as soon as it enraged, so that's something to look out for. You can remember you actually use the wedge beetles. I know, imagine having to use the inbuilt zone mechanics to dodge a really threatening, and it's seriously threatening now, attack. Uth Duna really needed that punishing levels of damage because it is a very slow, deliberate fight that is easy to avoid, but if you do get caught out, you pay for it, and now you really, really do pay for it. I found it a really, really good time, but I will admit, definitely is, at least on first impression, easier than Ray Dow. I found it a lot more comfortable to get through the actual hunt, though I won't pretend I didn't eat through a lot of healing. In any case, yeah, I think it's a really solid Arch-Tempered. I think it is continuing the trend that Ray Dow set, where Arch-Tempereds in Wilds are actually getting some nice, meaningful differences, and they're not just full stat checks like the infancy of the system in base world and so on and so forth, and I'm really, really pleased. I didn't want Ray Dow to just be a one-off standout, and now that Arch-Tempered Uth Duna is here, I don't think that's the case. It's not as immediately flashy, but it is a really satisfying slugfest back and forth. There's even new combos going on, and I swear she feels faster. There's a lot of swishy waves involved in attacks that I swear didn't have them before, and there was some real caught off guards kind of overwhelming moments where I did have a kind of, oh god, geez, oh my god, and I think I would have been destroyed if I was any less comfortable with Greatsword and how particularly good it is for just countering Uth Duna with chain offsets. In any case, yes, big thumbs up to Arch-Tempered Uth Duna. But will it be a big thumbs up to Arch-Tempered Uth Duna? Let's have a look at the gamma. So, over at the smithy and our, festive, Gemma. I feel like people are going to spend a lot more time at the blacksmith over the next couple of weeks. Just a wild guess. We can have a little look. It is underneath Radau Gamma, as you might expect, and just to immediately get this off the back, visually speaking, it is magnificent. Uth Duna armor was already one of the prettiest armors going. This, though, is just absolutely outrageously good. The extra glowy highlighting on the gauntlets, on the chest, it's so nice. Both versions have got a real, quite literal glow up, and if the skills turn out to not be great, well, the fashion potential certainly is. The sheen of Arch-Tempered suits it so well. In any case then, those skills. So as we can see, the full set gives us full peak performance and tool specialist. That was kind of expected. And we get ourselves some earplugs, a quick sheath, and then a little bit of agitator. So that does have potential. Let's look at that potential. Well, first, just to confirm that we will continue that Lord Soul Guts Tenacity, so as we predicted, the Arch-Tempereds, at least maybe the Apexes, if we get Arch-Tempereds beyond that, maybe not. In any case, this then is that 5% raw boost, that 1 survive from a lethal hit, etc. So all good there, and yes, regular protective veil from Uth Duna armor, much like Radau got his latent power boost. So the actual pieces, the helmet, 2 slots, which is just kind of fine, really, and 2 peak performance, which is kind of bad, really. One earplug is also nothing to write home about, and essentially, this is just... if for whatever crazy reason, in many title updates time, peak performance randomly is skyrocketed to an incredible skill, then maybe there's a chance. But I don't see that happening, and this is anticlimactic to say the least. The chest then, yeah, it's just worse. It's traded the flexibility of the 2 slots, which at least the helmet had going for it. You can put in your counter strike, your maximum might, your stamina surge for just 1 more replugs and 1 more peak performance. Now, don't get me wrong, if you really wanted 5 peak performance and maximum earplugs in just 2 pieces of armor, Arch-Tempered Uth Duna's got you covered, but you don't, so, The gloves then, a 2 slot, 3 tool specialist, and an agitator. Again, a 2 slot isn't too flexible or useful, a single one. There is much better decoration economy on much better pieces, and tool specialist isn't exactly crazy. Either you don't really need to be spamming mantles, and even then, 3 tool specialist isn't going to let you do that. 1 agitator is of course fine, but even compared to Radau, where you get 2 3 slots, which is essentially 2 agitator, well, it's just better. The evade extender is also, tangentially useful. Very useful on some weapons. So this also kind of ain't it. It might not be impossible that in some kind of way this somehow happens, but look, I think I'm just trying to be too generous here because I just love Uth Duna and I love the armor aesthetically. The waist then, this is much better. Actually, a lot better. So the tool specialist, again, whatever, it's a bit of bonus. Maybe you'll get an extra mantle out on a longer hunt. The 8-star tempereds have a lot of health. The Arch-Tempereds have a lot of health. If future title updates even beef it up even more, then yeah, multiple mantles might start being very attractive. But not in a way that you're gonna, deliberately go for it. But if this piece is good with its 2 3 slots as an extra bonus, okay, it's something. But the 2 3 slots is what matters. As I just said, a double 3 slot in Archray gloves is good. So a double 3 slot in Uth Duna waist is good. Any 2 level 3 skills, 2 weakness exploit, 2 agitator as the easy examples, that's nice. This might let us not use Radau gloves as part of a 3 Law's Soul set to get that set bonus, and instead use Uth Duna waist, and then perhaps slot in an even better pair of gloves than these. Of course, we will do all the theory theory crafting, come to you with builds and all of that, but there is potential here. It's as good as radar gloves, and radar gloves are good, so we've got that going for us. Let's have a look at the legs then. A 3-slot, a 1-1, 3 quick sheath, and an agitator. Okay, the legs are absolutely fantastic. 2 3-slots worth of skills is really good. The 2 1-slots are very flexible. If we compare it with some 2 gore mixed in, that's antivirus space potentially, and there is some very useful 1-slot skills, both defensively and indeed stamina managementally, and then 3 quick sheath on most weapons is just, you know, nice quality of life. It's nice to sheath instantly. But on longsword, which is the armor piece this really screams out weapon-wise, this is kind of really cracked. You get all 3 of your quick sheath, which is good because it's kind of awkward to fit it in, and you get 2 3-slots worth of skills. So yeah, 2 agitator or an agitator and a weakness exploit. This has a lot of potential to actually improve 3 gamma sets with 2 of either like Legiocris or gore magala. So that's actually quite exciting. So essentially, your helmet, your chest, and your gloves, kind of, fashion pieces, let's call it. Your waist and your legs might actually do a lot for certain weapons, certain builds, especially longsword with the legs, and we'll see if it can't eke out an extra rank or 2. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. I think the most potential that we're going to get out of these 2 additions is like, say a set could only fit 5 weakness exploit, 4 agitator. Maybe now it can fit that 5th agitator without giving up any of the 5 wex, which actually is a notable gain, specifically with agitator as the final rank is the best rank, but I think that's kind of the realm we're in. Maybe an extra 3-slot level of skill on your Lord Soul sets, but we'll see. That might not actually end up happening, but at the very least, the waist and the legs have potential, and that's very nice. But again, who cares about sets when we've got such gorgeous armor to fashion with? Oh my god. Even the legs, which normally I'm not a huge fan of on the female side of things, are looking just brilliant. My god. In any case then, that's where we're at with our new arch-tempered Uth Duna. All around, just a lovely addition, and coming with the festival just makes it that much meatier, and it's really nice to have so much to do after the initial surge of Title Update 2. Again, we'll be with you with everything you could want to know or need about this. There is a lot going on, and until then, for now, let me know what you guys think. Like you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.